The secret life of insects is as wild and dark as it gets. From hornets and bees to beetles and ladybugs, the things we have to contend with pale in comparison to their day-to-day. And as we head into the cold months, these bugs prep in some supreme ways. Brace yourself. Winter is coming. What bug can fly and swim? The great diving beetle. He hangs out in the water, but must head to the surface for air. He captures oxygen under his wings, like a scuba diver, allowing him to stay submerged for long stretches. But what do they spend their time doing under there? Ambushing fish as big as them. They need to stock up on calories for the brutal winter ahead. Bet you didn't see that coming. Okay, moving on, let's follow this horde of hornets. They're hungry for apples. All that sugar will fuel the colony during the hard months ahead. This guardian hornet at the entrance keeps an eye on who's coming and going. After all, this operation does call for protection. You do have the queen of the kingdom laying eggs in each cell. Then there's about 700 workers working non-stop around the clock, feeding the larvae. The crazy part is none of these workers will survive the winter. But the work they do now for all the little larvae you're seeing sets up the future of their colony. Weeks later, though, as the weather grows colder, so too does the nature of the hornets. For you see, this nest isn't designed to stockpile supplies or excess cargo, like these growing larvae. With no need for more workers, they dispose of them, throwing the larvae out of the nest and leaving them to die on the chilled ground outside. They give the ice treatment to their queen, too. She's starved out of her own kingdom, dead after only a year. A few very lucky larvae remain, cast as next season's queens. If they only knew. Okay, so how about a slight change of scenery? Let's focus on the buzzing of these bees for a sec. The plan for their members is to actually survive the biting winter. Worker bees with yellow pollen sticking to their back legs return to the hive to unload the goodies collected. But the whole squad mentality has its shortcomings in practice. See this dude? He's a male bee, called a drone. During mating season, the drones had one job to do: mate with the queen. But now that the deed's been done, and since drones are unable to feed themselves, well, there's just no longer need for them. And so the guards, those bees dragging the drones out of the joint, the guards give them the old heave-ho. Starved and exiled, left to die. The horrors of honey. The culture can bring you to your knees, but it also supports the survival of the 60,000 bees who live at the hive. The queen bee can live up to 5 years, but her workers only last about 6 tireless summer weeks, all to brace for the cold snap ahead. And these larvae, they're actually pretty cute, aren't they? Are tucked away nice and snug as they develop into what are called winter bees, which can live up to 6 months to ensure the hive makes it out of winter alive. Shall we go to a prettier place? Ladybugs should do the trick. They too are prepping for the big chill, but aren't the nesting type really. Rather than build shelter, they seek it out. They follow aggregation pheromones to these nooks and crannies. Communing together, often in the hundreds, helps reduce dehydration. Ladybugs are amazing creatures, with pretty cool powers. Like the ability to produce a type of antifreeze, allowing them to survive temperatures as low as 14 degrees Fahrenheit. When they're nice and situated, they cease eating and essentially transition into suspended animation, sitting frozen in time until the spring turns its head. It's not just a movie plot device. To some bugs, it's just called real life.